Hi, I'm Yvette Brown, co-founder of X-Promos Marketing Mastery, and I am proud to be here today with my business partner of over 30 years, Sherry Nomadi, and Kathy Parks, the creator of the Parks method of selling to retail stores. Together, the three of us are launching Sell to Stores on Demand later this month to teach inventors how to successfully sell their product to retailers. So, Kathy, can you provide some clarity? Many of our inventors have created unique products that they're ready to sell to retail. And while they're busy trying to figure out how to sell that one item to retailers, you're out there telling them that they need to create several more items before they can even start. Can you explain why that is?
Sure, it can seem overwhelming, but there's a really good reason for it, and it's honestly not as challenging as it sounds.
Thank
Think
goodness.
of it from a retail buyer's perspective. It takes time and extra work to set up a new vendor. And for many buyers, it's simply not worth the time to set up a vendor for one item. And just as important, one item on a shelf can get lost. Multiple items from one brand make a bigger statement, and that means all of the items will sell better. Even as an online seller, having a brand statement is more impactful than selling a single item.
One very few exceptions to that single product brand is our client WD-40. They actually succeeded for decades with just one single product, even topping out at 97% household penetration. But eventually, even they realized they needed to expand their line to be successful at retail, and they started with different sizes of their product.
Yeah, that's a great example, Sherry. And, the thing is, while WD-40 is the exception to the rule, when you look at it from the buyer's perspective, you can understand that they're not interested in you being a one and done. They want to see you succeed. They want to, see you grow and thrive. But creating a whole line does seem like a hassle, and it seems like a lot of expense for an inventor who's still trying to get their first item sold. So, Kathy, where do you even start with that?
Again, it's really not as difficult as it seems. In Sell to Stores on Demand, we go in depth on different ways to go about this expansion. But the secret is that when you present your full line in a buyer meeting or at a trade show, you can take in what we call mocks, which are empty boxes. The buyer completely expects this. You still need to come up with the new items for your line, but you don't have to take the time or incur the expense of creating additional items until you get buyer feedback.
That's pretty awesome. Now, a caveat to that is that every one of those items is still going to need a name and it's going to need a unique selling proposition. But we've got you covered on that in the Sell to Stores on Demand course.
We absolutely do. And I also wanted to point out another great reason for taking in the mocks. This gives the buyer a chance to collaborate and influence your product directly with you. And when they are invested like that, you have a much better shot at getting your product sold in with them.
That's an amazing point, Sherry. You're absolutely right. And I want to turn to Kathy on that. Have you ever had a buyer collaborate on a product with you?
Many times. I've had the pleasure of partnering with many buyers to grow business from a few core items to extensive brand statements in retail aisles, on end caps, in bins, and in special displays. These programs have generated millions in incremental revenue. I try to look at least 3 years ahead and make sure the buyer can see that vision. I'll give you an example. A line of snow toys. It started with 2 items called snow markers. They were designed to bring color to snow play outside. And that evolved to over 25 completely innovative items, all developed in partnership with the buyer. And the program grew larger each year over the course of 5 years. And it's still in stores today and generates millions annually.
Kathy, I love that story. It's an amazing one and it's a fantastic insight. And I have to say, we've been privileged to uncover a number of your really great stories about selling to stores.
I do have lots of stories. I've also had buyers ask me to bring them a product to fill what's called white space. That space they have free and want to build a new brand or a new innovation not currently in their aisle. That's true partnership between a vendor and a retailer.
Honestly, we've worked so hard to make sure that Kathy shared her stories throughout our Sell to Stores on Demand course. It really does bring home the training, and it reinforces that we are not sharing theory, but we are actually sharing real life examples all along the way. We made sure that Kathy is prepared for some of the stories in this free live webinar on November 24th at 4 p.m. Pacific time. So sign up in the link below. Don't miss out. See you there.